Good morning, children. Today, let us study about medical termination and assisted reproductive technology. So, what is medical termination or MTP? Medical termination of pregnancy. Because of this emotional, ethical, religious, and social issues, many countries have not legalized MTP. But in India, Government of India legalized MTP in 1971 with some strict condition to avoid its misuse. How it is misused? If the couple find out that the baby is girl child, they tend to abort that child. Okay, so such restrictions are to check indiscriminate and illegal female feticides, which are reported to be high in India. So if a couple wants to terminate pregnancy, they can go for medical termination of pregnancy, but Government of India legalized MTP in 1971 with some strict conditions to avoid its misuse. Misuse is they will kill the female, that is a female feticide. In other countries and all, MTP is not legalized. And what is the importance of MTP? It is to avoid unwanted pregnancies due to casual intercourse or failure of the contraceptive use during coitus or rapes. Okay, during rapes and all, sometimes that girl or lady will get pregnant. For in that condition, MTP is very important. So this is to avoid unwanted pregnancy due to casual or unprotected intercourse or failure of the contraceptive used during coitus or rapes. Then it is very essential in cases where a continuation of the pregnancy could be harmful to the mother or to the fetus or both. If a mother carries the fetus, then that may be very dangerous to the health of the mother or baby. In that condition also, MTP is essential. And MTPs are normally safe only during the first trimester, first 3 months. First 3 months only it is safe, otherwise it is not safe. It is very risky after second trimester, that is after third month. So second trimester abortions are very risky. It may cause the death of the mother. So MTPs are safe only during the first trimester up to 12 weeks of pregnancy. Second trimester abortions are very risky. And what are the problems related with MTPs? Majority of the MTPs are performed illegally. If you go to the hospital and all, now it is written that sex determination is not allowed. Okay, so it will lead to the misuse of amnio, that is misuse of this. What is first? Let us study about what is amniocentesis. Amniocentesis is a it is a technique for the determination of chromosomal pattern in the amniotic fluid. It is a fetal amniocentesis is a fetal sex determination test based on the chromosomal pattern in the amniotic fluid, and this is mainly used to find any genetic disorders or chromosomal aberrations. Okay, if the fetus is female and it is followed by MTP, and they will kill the female. So such practices are dangerous for the young mother and fetus. So what is amniocentesis? It is very important question. What is amniocentesis? What is the advantage and what is the disadvantage of amniocentesis? So amniocentesis is a fetal sex determination test based on the chromosomal pattern in the amniotic fluid to find the genetic disorders. It is mainly used for the genetic disorders. But some people will misuse it. How they will misuse it? If they find that child is female, then they will abort that child. Okay, that is called female feticide. They will abort that child. That is the disadvantage of amniocentesis. So such practices are dangerous for the young mother and fetus. Now let us study about sexually transmitted diseases or STDs. And what are STDs and how it is transmitted. So STDs or sexually transmitted diseases are transmitted through sexual intercourse. Okay, sexually transmitted, it is otherwise known as sexually transmitted diseases or venereal diseases or reproductive tract infections. Example for sexually transmitted diseases are gonorrhea, syphilis, genital herpes, chlamydiasis, genital warts, trichomoniasis, hepatitis B and HIV, which leads to AIDS. So these are examples of sexually transmitted diseases. So sexually transmitted diseases are transmitted through sexual contact only, sexual intercourse. And hepatitis B and HIV are also transmitted through sexual contact, and they are transmitted by different method, that is by sharing of injection needles, through surgical instruments, by transfusion of blood, then from infected mother to fetus. And except hepatitis B, genital herpes and HIV, other diseases are completely curable if detected at early stage and treated properly. There is no cure for hepatitis B, genital herpes and HIV. So these sexually transmitted diseases are mainly transmitted through sexual contact, by sharing of injection needles, surgical instruments, etc. Then by transfusion of blood, infected person to healthy person, then from infected mother to fetus. Now, what are the symptoms of sexually transmitted diseases? These are the early symptoms, that is itching in the vagina or testis, then fluid discharge, slight pain, swellings, etc. in the genital region. These are the early symptoms: itching, fluid discharge, slight pain, etc., swelling, etc. And the absence of less significant symptoms in the early stages of infection and the social stigma attached to the STDs deter the infected persons from going for proper treatment. So sometimes these people will avoid such symptoms. They will think this is very mild symptoms, no need of going for treatment and all. But if they ignore that symptoms, it will lead to complications such as pelvic inflammatory diseases. It will lead to abortions, stillbirth, ectopic pregnancy. Ectopic pregnancy means pregnancy which occur in the fallopian tube, infertility, or even cancer of the reproductive tract. So we should not ignore these symptoms. Immediately, if we find out the symptoms, we have to go to the doctor. And all persons are vulnerable to STDs. And these are very high persons in the age group of 15 to 24 years. So this sexually transmitted diseases occurs in the persons in the age group of 15 to 24 years. How? This is very important question. How to prevent sexually transmitted diseases? This is very, very important. First, avoid sex with unknown partners or multiple partners. We have to be very loyal with our partners. So avoid sex with unknown partners or multiple partners. Second, always use condoms during sexual intercourse. That is very, very important. And in case of doubt, go to the qualified doctor for early detection and get complete treatment if diagnosed with the disease. So if you have any doubt or if you have any itching or any watery discharge, etc., you have to go to the qualified doctor for early detection and get complete treatment for that disease. So these are the prevention for sexually transmitted diseases. Now, next topic is about infertility and assisted reproductive technology, or ART. Infertility and assisted reproductive technology. So what is infertility? Nowadays you can see so many couples, they don't have children. It is due to many reasons. So it is the inability of male or female to produce children, that is called infertility. It is the inability of male or female to produce children. And the reasons may be physical, congenital, or it may be due to disease, or it may be due to drugs, or immunological or psychological reasons. So many reasons are there. And specialized healthcare units are there, that is infertility clinics are there, which help in diagnosis and corrective treatment of this disorder. So many health centers are there to help in diagnosis and corrective treatment of the disorders. Now let us study about different types of assisted reproductive technology. This question is also very, very important. Assisted reproductive technology, or ART. So first is gamete intrafallopian transfer or gift. Short form is gift. The next another is intracytoplasmic sperm injection or ICSI. Then artificial insemination technique, that is AI. Then surrogacy, in vitro fertilization or IVF or test tube baby program. These are the different assisted reproductive technology, and we will study in detail one by one. First, in vitro fertilization or test tube baby program. In vitro fertilization, and in this method, ova from the wife or donor and sperms from the husband or donor are collected and are induced to form zygote under simulated condition in the laboratory. So fertilization takes place in the laboratory, and this is followed by embryo transfer. So first, as the name indicates, it is not in the test tube. Baby is not formed in the test tube. In this method, ova from the wife or donor is collected, and sperms from the husband or donor is collected, and they are induced to form zygote under laboratory conditions. Then after the formation of zygote, this zygote will be transferred in two methods. Okay, that is zygote intrafallopian transfer or ZIFT. The transfer of zygote or early embryos up to 8 blastomeres are transferred into the fallopian tube. So after the formation of embryo, there are two methods of transfer. One is zygote intrafallopian transfer. In that method, this transfer of zygote, which is with up to 8 blastomeres, are transferred into the fallopian tube. That is called zygote intra means inside the fallopian tube. Zygote is inserted inside the fallopian tube. That is one method of embryo transfer after in vitro fertilization. And second method is intrauterine transfer. Intra means inside. So here transfer of embryos with more than 8 blastomeres into the uterus. In the second method, if the blastomeres are more than 8, it is transferred into the uterus. So these are the two different embryo transfer. One is zygote intrafallopian transfer or ZIFT, and intrauterine transfer or IUT. And embryos are formed in vivo fertilization, that is fertilization within the female, also could be used for such transfer to assist those females who cannot conceive. Okay, so this is about in vitro fertilization. In vitro fertilization, the fertilization takes place outside the body, that is in the under laboratory condition. Then later that zygote is transferred either into the fallopian tube or into the uterus. Then gamete intrafallopian transfer. And gamete intrafallopian transfer is the transfer of an ovum. Remember, it is a gift, GIFT. Transfer of an ovum from a donor into the fallopian tube of another female who cannot produce ovum but can provide suitable environment for fertilization and development. So if suppose a wife cannot produce ovum, and they want a child, then what will happen? They will take one donor, and donor will give ovum. Okay, they will doctors will collect the ovum from a donor, and they will introduce into the fallopian tube of another female who cannot produce ovum. Okay, that ovum will be produced inside the female who cannot produce ovum but can provide suitable environment for fertilization and development. That is called gift. So it is the transfer of an ovum from a donor into the fallopian tube of another female who cannot produce ovum, but she can provide suitable environment for fertilization and other development. Then next is intracytoplasmic sperm injection. So a laboratory procedure in which a single sperm from male partner is injected directly into an egg is called intracytoplasmic sperm injection. And in the picture you can see one sperm will be taken and it is directly injected into the under laboratory condition. It is called intracytoplasmic sperm injection or ICSI. then the fertilized egg is implanted into the woman's uterus. So this is another method of assisted reproductive technology, intracytoplasmic sperm injection. Then another is artificial insemination, and here the semen is collected from the husband, or a healthy donor is artificially introduced into the vagina or the uterus of the female. That is called artificial insemination. And this technique is mainly it is used for the male partner having inability to inseminate female or low sperm counts. If the partner is having low sperm counts, or he is unable to inseminate female, this technique is used. That is, the semen is collected from the husband, or a healthy donor is artificially introduced into the vagina or uterus of the female, and this is called artificial insemination technique. And next is about surrogacy. Surrogacy, you might have heard about Amir Khan and lately this Shah Rukh Khan and all, they have gone for that surrogacy. Here a woman, that is surrogate mother bears a child for a couple unable to produce children because the wife is infertile or unable to carry. If above 40, if a lady is above 40 and all, she won't be able to carry her uterus, she cannot provide suitable condition for the child in the uterus, so they may adopt surrogacy. In surrogacy, what happens, this surrogate is impregnated either through artificial insemination or through implantation of an embryo produced in vitro fertilization. In surrogacy, what happens, I will tell you. In the case of Shah Rukh Khan and all, the Gauri Khan gives that ovum, donates that ovum, and outside the body, that is inside the laboratory, the sperm and ovum will be fertilized, and that zygote will be transplanted in the womb of another lady. Okay, sperm will be from Shah Rukh Khan and ovum will be from Gauri Khan, and it will be fused outside the body, that is under laboratory condition, and after fertilization that embryo will be transferred in the womb of another lady. So who is the biological father and mother? Shah Rukh Khan and Gauri Khan. Okay, but that lady, another surrogate mother, is lending only the womb. She is rending the womb. Okay, so she is not the biological mother of the child. So that is called surrogacy. So surrogate is impregnated either through artificial insemination or through implantation of an embryo produced in vitro fertilization. So this is about surrogacy. And what are the problems of art? It requires high precision handling by specialized professionals and expensive instrumentation. Okay, it is very expensive. This therefore these facilities are available only in few countries or few centers, and it will create emotional, religious and social problems. So it requires high precision. The specialized doctors are needed for this assisted reproductive technology, and it will lead to emotional, religious and social problems. So these are the problems of art or assisted reproductive technology. And if a couple is not having any children, best method is legal adoption is one of the best method for couples looking for parenthood. Okay, legal adoption, you have seen in so many celebrities have adopted children. That is Sushmita Sen and all, they have adopted children. So legal adoption is one of the best methods for couples looking for parenthood. So this is all about assisted reproductive technology. Thank you.